Welcome to Watkins Glen, and I'm very familiar with this track because literally this time last week I was here for the 6 hours at Watkins Glen, but for today we are running the I Love New York 355 at the Glen, the NASCAR stock cars for career mode in NASCAR Heat 2. Now, with the amount of rivals that I have, this race may be absolute hell, so be sure to keep it glued right here because this may be full of a lot of action. So, wow, I sent it way too hard out of the final quarter, but I also sent it way too hard up the S's in my qualifying attempt. Destroyed the arrow, and I'm going to have an absolutely terrible lap. So yeah, we are going to be last by a long, well, actually not all that long of a way. Timmy Hill was at a 125, so maybe if I'd gone a little bit harder, I would have actually caught him, but we certainly weren't going to catch the 107s and whatnot. Yeah, so it's going to be a last to first challenge here with thousands of rivals here at Watkins Glen.
Welcome to Watkins Glen International for the running of the I Love New York 355 at the Glen. Today, NASCAR visits its second and final road course of the year. In 2015, this 2.45-mile venue underwent a repave, which has made the racing surface much smoother and added a ton of grip. Denny Hamlin snared his first road course win here in 2016, giving the new surface rave reviews. The drivers are ready to put the new surface to the test again. Let's go racing.
All right, ready to go at the Glen, way back in the field to start this one. I can't remember the last time I actually started last. Usually I'm like 30th, 32nd, 36th, but not last. But we're certainly not going to be last going down into turn one. Big send already up the inside of Senpai there, giving Hamlin, the defending winner according to the game, a little bit of a shove as Casey Kane decided to try to give me a little bit of argy-bargy there as well as we go up the S's, where I had trouble in qualifying. Not going to have necessarily a lot of trouble right now, though McFlurry's trying to look to the outside. We're going to get a big draft off of McKenzie, and we'll see what we can do here into the bus stop chicane for the first time. Kenseth held me off there. I thought I was going to get into him a little bit. I got into McFlurry, but it's okay. Through the chicane, underneath, a lot of cars through the carousel, and we're moving up nicely through the field, even though we made a little bit of contact with Blaney right there. You don't want to use too much of the track limits there. I know you can run off some places on this track, but some places will give you a time penalty where you don't want that. That is no bueno. We're going to try to get in behind Keselowski here. Guidance counselor Brad. And that's a big send right there. Is Aggressive going to go around? Oh, we're going to use guidance counselor Brad up on the exit of the first corner and actually make it through the first lap here at the Glen without any crashing, which is kind of interesting. So this 4-lap stage might actually be a 4-lap stage. We'll have to wait and see as we're in behind Happy Harvick right now on 11th spot. We're going to lift off early, try to get a good run through the S's. They are usually pretty slow here on the exit. Harvick tried to pinch me off there, but didn't happen. We move up into 11th. Going to be looking for the top 10 on Paul Menard right here. Down the back straightaway, down a gear. Catch those curbs just in the right way. Menard kind of held me up there just a little bit. I'll give him a little bit of a shove into the carousel underneath and into the side of him. Now we've got Chase Elliott just out in front. Then it's Joey Logano, and I think A.J. Allmendinger is up there as well. So road course ringer A.J. Allmendinger living up to his name as I head down a little short squirt into this right-hander, or left-hander into the right-hander, S-curve sort of, for this little section leading on to the main straightaway is Chase Elliott. Ooh, a little bit of teammate rivalry there. Didn't know exactly where he was going with that, but I think we're going to send it up the inside of Chase, which we will. Don't hit Logano. Almost outbraked myself into turn. Well, I did outbrake myself into turn one, but I almost smashed Logano off. Thankfully, I did not do that. And we'll go up through the gears here, up the hill. And Elliott was slow, so I give him the big boot.
Stay right there.
And lose the position to Menard because I didn't actually want to boot him off there. Speaking of boot, we're not running the boot today, as we would never run the boot in NASCAR. Hashtag run the boot. Anyway, well, no, actually don't run the boot because they just ruin it. The problem with Watkins Glen is, like, the NASCAR section of the course is all fenced off, and there's all this, you know, hospitality and crap that just makes it difficult to be a spectator who didn't pay to be on the side of a car. And when you get out to the boot, there's none of that crap. You can get right up next to the cars, no fences, no restrictions, no nothing. So maybe I don't want NASCAR to run the boot, because then they ruin the boot. Anyway, there's my little soapbox for today. We're still running in the top 10 and trying to get up into the top 9. That's also why I don't want F1 to come back to the Glen, because it would ruin it. And keep F1 away from Road America too, because they'll just pave everything and make it look terrible and ugh. Alright, so up with the S's, which I called on Twitter America's Eau Rouge, as I got very hard on the curbs there. Oh no! And there is the end of the stage. 12th spot, didn't get any points, and that's pretty much what I did in qualifying too, unfortunately. Thankfully, everybody's coming into the pits, which will help me out just a little bit. I'm going to tape the grill up, try to get some front grip, which I'm lacking right now, as we're going to come back to the green here in 12th place. So I didn't lose much, if anything, as we're going to go racing once again at the Glen. Getting a big run behind Menard, and now sending it up the inside, down into second gear, throw it down the inside. Well, the car's definitely turning better, there's no doubt about that, but Daniel Suarez had a little bit of something to say about that for now. Oh yeah, much better. All that downforce. What a shock. Downforce is good on a road course. News at 10. Look at that pass on Truex there. Oh, we're going to go out in the grass. Woo-wee, woo-wee. That was a wee bit close there, wee bit close. Trying to get the car down through the chicane there. Truex shoved me off, but it's okay. The game decided I had nowhere else to go, so we'll keep without a penalty right now as I get behind Suarez here, who I thought I passed earlier, of course, and then he got me back, so let's see if we can get around him. Ooh, very early braking from Suarez there, so that was a fairly easy pass for me to make. And now Boyer, Jimmy the Juggernaut, and Kyle Busch up here at the front as the top 3. I've gone from 40th to 4th, just 10% of the field to go. So we've got 3 laps left in this particular stage. So a pretty short race here at the Glen, as you'd expect, especially when it's kind of split up by these stages. As I'm on the accelerator up the hill. Got to try to time this properly. I didn't time it very well with Chase Elliott. This time I think I've timed it well around Boyer. And yes, I passed Boyer. Might get a 2-for-1 deal here at Kmart if we can get Kyle Busch. Woo, that was a nice braking maneuver by Kyle Busch. He just sent it in there, and Clint Boyer really trying to get me sideways. Didn't quite work, and we'll pass Kyle Busch. And now we will start working on Jimmy the Juggernaut. Look at that run out of the carousel down this little short straightaway. Can I get to the inside of Johnson? Right now I am. And into the lead we go. Crowd goes nuts. Past the Jackie Stewart grandstand there, side by side again, as Johnson can't respond, and the yellow comes out. I'll win the stage. That was a bit disappointing. Wonder what happened there. But regardless, I guess it was a good thing that I sent it into the lead. Everybody is coming into the pits. There's 16 laps to go. Now 15 laps to go. I think everybody's going to have to pit one more time. So I'm not going to pit. I'm going to keep my track position for now. And we'll come in 6 laps time. I think that should get me somewhat close to the end. I think the AI will have to pit twice anyway. So now it's time to build a gap, as it were, with 12 laps to go, 6 laps in the tank. So actually I could probably make it to the end on one more stop. So that was a good strategy right there to stay out, assuming everybody else is going to need a green flag pit stop. And so now already half a second on Jimmy the Juggernaut after one corner. That just shows you how much time you can make up on these road course races if you are hooked up. And right now I am hooked up. 0.6 of a second. Working down the back straightaway. 0.7 now. 0.8. Into the chicane. A little bit of a corner cut there. Game didn't get upset with me, so we'll keep going. Maybe I'm a bit shell-shocked from Project Cars 2, to try to minimize the corner cutting is we're going to go right out. Well, let's see what we can get away with. Yeah, we got away with that, so there you go. 2-second gap now on Jimmy the Juggernaut. Down the McDowell straightaway, I'm going to call it. I don't know if it actually has a real name. I've not heard it if it does. Whoa, up on the 2 wheels there. Across the runoff area. Still no track limit penalty, so Eduardo Freitas is not officiating this race as we head onto the main straightaway. Already puts 3 seconds on Jimmy the Juggernaut, or 2.5 seconds within 1 lap as we hit the halfway mark in the race, as you heard the spotter say. Really sent it on the brakes there into turn 1. A little too much over the curbs. Definitely got the back end stepping out there. We don't want to do that again, particularly. To go up the gear pretty much. That was as good as I've gotten the S's so far in this particular race. Down through the S's, out next to the grass where you can see where several cars have run off. I think I was one of them at one point in this race. Just trying to nail those apex curbs, which I did whoop. I was going to say I did really nicely, but then the thing stepped out a little bit. And actually, the out lap of my qualifying, I actually started heading towards the boot, and I was like, oh, nope. No, we're not running that part of the track. So I almost went head on into the wall down there, which I'm sure several people have done in the past, either knowingly or unknowingly in these games, as I go right out next to the curbing. In fact, I used to do that in the old Papyrus NASCAR Racing 99 game that I had. I always tried to get down the boot at Watkins Glen. It never quite let me, and I didn't understand that mods existed to actually get the proper version of Watkins Glen. As I, again, lock the brakes up and right out over the curbs again. And up a gear, just a little bit of a lift up the hill to the little catch fencing area, which that's actually a tunnel underneath the track there. That's why that catch fence is there. 183 miles an hour on the way into the chicane. Pitch it in, nice and easy. 4.5 seconds ahead of Jimmy the Juggernaut now. The gap continues to raise itself, which is always nice. Almost got it out to 5 seconds, and now I do. It just for the briefest of seconds went to 5 seconds. How many times can I say seconds in a second? That is a tongue twister. It's going to go right out over the curb. Just kind of keep one tire outside, or in the track limits, I guess you could say. And another second I've put on Jimmy the Juggernaut. 6-7 seconds back to the rest of the field. As we continue to go faster and faster as the fuel load burns off and just absolutely drifting it into turn 1. What's my tire wear like? Because we've got 3 laps left of fuel. If I could find the menu. There we go. Yeah, I could probably go without taking tires as well on this last pit stop, which will just help my gap, hopefully. Right now, of course, we wouldn't be able to pit without losing the lead. But again, I'm expecting everyone else will have to come in. So it's a non-issue. And even if the yellow comes out, I won't have lost a lap, and most of the people will have, well, I'll either, if they have pitted, I will have passed them, and if they haven't, they will pit under the yellow, and I will pass them then. The only problem is going to be worn tires on a potential last restart, but looking at the gap I have right now, I think that won't be a problem. Down a gear, pitch it in, just keep the thing waggling away at the rear. Again, down. I thought I was going to pick it up on 2 wheels there. It didn't quite happen. Still got an 8-second gap over Jimmy the Juggernaut. Crossing the line with 8 laps to go. So about to cross into the fuel window. Be able to get this car to the end of the race. As Jimmy the Juggernaut actually kind of closes in just a little bit on that little section. 2 laps left of fuel. I'm not even going to look at the gaps between the drivers right now because it's really not relevant to what I need to do. Oh, there's the yellow. That's exactly what I kind of expected to happen. So we don't get a green flag pit stop. Everybody's going to come in. We'll take 4 tires. Don't need to repair the car. And that should be good. Now, how many positions? I didn't lose any. Everybody took tires. That's a good thing. Trevor Bain in the pits. I was going to point that out the last time, but I didn't get an opportunity to. So there goes the strategy. Now it's just a straight race to the end with 5 to go here at Watkins Glen, which is ironically still longer than both the stages. So The stages were 4 laps, and once again, just on fresh tires now. I didn't even have fresh tires in the last restart. Just absolutely sailing away from Juggernaut and the rest of the field. Already the gap out to a second. So pretty much it's the David Land commencement ceremony here at the Glen right now for 5 more laps, assuming it stays green. Of course, that's a big assumption because it seems like the AI have been wanting to crash a lot in this race. But again, we'll have to wait and see how it all turns out as I'm just easing it through the carousel, trying to get a good exit, which I will go out over the curve just a little bit, but it's fine. Already a 3-second gap on Jimmy, so you can just see the absolute and utter beatdown that's taking place right now for me. Whoop! Uh-oh. And we've choked. And we've choked. And we got a yellow anyway. Got a yellow anyway, so it doesn't matter. Well, let's make this interesting. We're not going to pit. We're going to try to run this thing here to the end with 19 seconds worth of damage. I don't think this is a good idea. I'm just going to throw that out there. But regardless, we're underway with 2 laps to go. Essentially a green-white checker, even though it's not overtime. So let's see what we can do with a damaged car here in 2 laps, and again, pulling away from Jimmy the Juggernaut. So aerodynamics maybe not the biggest key to winning this thing. We're going to have to cross the overtime line now to actually finish the race, though. That is going to be, and remember this, we're still in regulation as the engine temperature is coming up, so the car may blow up. Oh boy. I'm just like, oh god, is it going to blow up? Is it going to blow up before the finish? That is going to be the question. We're going to try to win this thing with a damaged car, engine blowing up. All the things that you don't want to be happening in a race car are happening right now. Got all the engine lights on. Check engine lights are flashing. Jimmy's only 1 second behind, so he's cut 2 seconds from that gap that I was able to reach the last time. So let's see what we've got as we come off of the final corner. Going to take a white flag here at Watkins Glen, and here comes Jimmy. Look at this huge run as I've just got no horsepower on the straightaway. 0 horsepower. Jimmy gonna give me the bump and run down in turn 1. I'm gonna give him the send. Hendrick Motorsports is out of the lead right now. Boyer gets around. Here comes Bush. He's gonna lose it. This looks like 2012. Oh no! I saved it for now. Suarez crashes me. Bush is around. Toyotas are wrecking everywhere. And there's a yellow. A yellow to end it. Not end it, but we're going to get an overtime finish once again. Now I got 20 seconds of repairs now. Nobody's going to be coming into the pits. Do not pit. We're going to go for it. We're going to try to win this thing with a damaged car. So hopefully the car is cooled off a little bit in the yellow period, which it has, so the temperature is not going to be zapping power right now. 2 laps to go, same situation as the last time. We're going to give Boyer a shove there, Suarez a shove, try to hold on to this lead as best we can with a damaged race car. Suarez giving me a shove up the hill, and now the car is starting to overheat once again. Up to 4th gear, Suarez is going to be pushing me the whole way down the straightaway. Thanks for the bump draft, Suarez. Thanks for the bump draft.
Clear.
He's going to really shove me off into the chicane, which he did, and he got me loose. So I lose that position. Bush somehow maintaining this position right for him. We're going to go underneath Kyle. He's going to try to put me on the grass, which he does. We're going to turn Kyle. Oh, well, that's revenge. That's revenge for wrecking Senpai. Another big wreck behind. And they're wrecking behind. And we're not going to pit. We're going to try it again. A NASCAR Overtime 2 taking place. Can I win this thing with a damaged race car? That is going to be the question as we come down for the green flag once again. Suarez just out in front. Kyle Busch still back there with a very damaged Toyota Camry. Look at that car. Temperature already up on my car. Sending it down the inside of Suarez. He's going to not lose it. But here comes Kyle Busch. He's not happy. He's not happy. It's the battle of the damaged cars right now. Which wrecked cars? Well, we're going to have to try it again. I was going to say which wrecked car is going to win this race. Right now, we're going to have to wait again to get this restart. NASCAR overtime. And this is where we're going to extend the Watkins Glen race. See how long this is going to take to get it over with, as we're back to racing once again. And possibly the last time this time. We'll have to wait and see as the damaged cars of me and Kyle Busch lead us down into turn 1. And Kyle getting a run on the inside. Can I get the run on him? No, I can't. Kyle takes the lead. Suarez gives me an absolutely huge hit. Around goes Suarez into the inside wall. I'm up on 2 wheels. And the yellow finally comes out as there's the wrecking behind him. Okay, well, we're going to go again. I did not get a good restart that time on Kyle Busch, so we're going to have to try again. Look at the damage to that car. How did that even happen? He must have got T-boned absolutely unbelievably. Here we go. Racing again. This is just the craziest thing. I can't believe these 2 cars are leading right now, and they are, and we're going to give a big shove to Kyle Busch. So back into the lead we go. This is Demo Derby racing at its finest at the Glen. And here comes Kyle Busch. He's going to give me a bump draft. I'm going to get into him. Kyle Busch goes around for the lead here at the Glen. And this may be Kyle Busch winning the race right here. I don't know if I can send it into the chicane fast enough to catch him. Well, maybe I can. Car is still fast in the corners. It's just not fast on the straightaways. And here we go. We're going to get to the inside of Kyle Busch. Couldn't quite get him. Going to be on the grass as Kyle Busch is going to send it through the exit of the carousel. Now here comes Truex. And again, this is not where I'm going to be very fast right now. I'm maxing out at 134 miles an hour. Oh, and Truex gets spun. Does he save it, though? He did. I think he did save it. So now I've got to try to hold momentum, maintain momentum for one more lap here at the Glen. Kyle Busch pulling away. We got to get to that overtime line, though. The Overton's overtime line. Got to get to it. And so down into turn 1. Truex spun himself out. Down into the inside wall. Is that going to bring out the yellow? Yes, it ends the race. Kyle Busch wins over me, but both of us in incredibly, incredibly damaged race cars. So it was Kyle Busch taking the win over me and Martin Truex Jr. What a crazy race that was. I hope you enjoyed that, because I certainly did. Be sure to slap the like button on that one. I don't think you'll ever see a race like that at a road course in this game again. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Let's take a look at the earnings from this crazy I Love New York 355 at the Glen. 242,000, going to be over 3,500 or 300,000 with the Hendrick bonus payout included. So Kyle Busch takes his 4th win of the season. He extends his points gap, but I've still got the playoff point gap by 20 over him. So let's see if Kyle's going to do a little bit of trash talking on Twitter after that one. What a crazy race that was, but we're heading into an incentive contract. Right now, we've just got to get 3 more top 15s, and we're going to try to do it at the Monster Energy Cup Series race at Michigan. That's a tough race to race with rivals, so we're going to see how that all turns out, and certainly we didn't make any friends after the Glen race, where we were running into literally anything that moved and some things that didn't move. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this crazy, crazy race, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more NASCAR Heat 2, NASCAR content, and motorsports content. And we'll see you at Michigan for the next race.